Well, initially it was just a great place to get a job, especially coming from chemical engineering background. Um, I mean, I would say probably 70 or 80% of my class was working in oil and gas. So that was obviously one force. But the other one that kind of motivated me a bit more was just the scale of it. Like, there's so much effort and money and um, potential for impact in this industry. So it's really exciting to kind of get into that and be part of these things that are reshaping the world and providing energy to this modern society. So that's kind of what got me into it, and the fact that coming from Calgary, it's it's like the native business to be in. Doesn't Didn't hurt either.
Very cool.
I think I would definitely, in the long term, it would be a move to something more renewable. Um, but obviously that's a process, and there's also the whole human side, the job side, the amount of infrastructure and economic growth that's created by the industry that also needs to be accounted for. So I think I would change it to something that's more balanced on the overall scale of the planet, not just the most something that's not just the most economically justifiable, but something that takes into account more seriously social justifications and environmental justifications, and doesn't just do those things lip service. Or not to say that everyone does that, but it does seem like sometimes the environmental socio impacts get a little bit, they're not quantifiable per se, so they slide by the wayside. I do think people are willing to change their ways, and I think it's a bit of a generational thing. Um, but I think the thing that people struggle with when it comes to changing their ways is it's it's one of these things where it doesn't feel on an individual level as a direct cause and effect. Like, if I stop driving my car for a month and only take public transit, it's not like suddenly the trees in my backyard are a foot taller. Not realistically, my life doesn't change at all, and so it's very easy for people to justify saying, "Well, I'm one more person." A lot of people who work in oil and gas also care deeply about the environment. I mean, it's not mutually exclusive that if you work for an oil company, you just want to drill, baby, drill, and dig an open pit mine and squeeze the oil out of the sand straight into your Hummer gas tank. There's a lot of people who are quite passionate about the environment, and I think that's actually why a lot of people, myself included to some extent, choose to stay in the industry, because um, it's an industry with huge potential to detriment the environment. So I think I'd rather get in there and work on finding the solution and have my hands on the wheel, than just trust it to some other people who I don't know, who maybe they don't care about the same things I do. So I'd rather be in there trying to change things from the inside than standing at the outside complaining.